evening, fellow freedom fighters. Tonight, I bring you good news. Our fellow Americans are rejecting, and they're rejecting utterly, the big government, big spending Barack Obama agenda. They're rejecting it, and the left is furious, aren't they? They're furious. That's why you see the attacks like that. That's why you see them making so many personal assaults on you, on Americans for prosperity, but it's not working. But I'll tell you, those guys in Washington, they're still not getting the message. Just last week, did you see what happened in Washington? Pelosi and Reid brought their Congress back into session for more big spending, more stimulus. They don't want to call it that because I know we've caught on to them, and more of their tax increases. Well, I'll tell you something, folks. I've got a message, and we've got a message tonight for every big spending politician, and especially for Nancy Pelosi and for Harry Reid, and it's this: November is coming. November is coming for these guys. All of these politicians who's piled up deficits and debt, raised our taxes, ignored the American people, November is coming for them, isn't it? And that's what we're asking you to be a part of at Americans for Prosperity. All of you tonight were given the petitions, the November is coming petitions, and the t-shirts. We hope you'll sign those. We hope you'll go door to door, knock on doors, make those phone calls. Let's make sure every American knows what's at stake this year. Will you do that? Will you join us in this effort? Because we can take this nation in a different direction. You know, the media likes to make things what they aren't sometimes. And sometimes they're wanting to make this year about a given political party or one election. But it's not about that, is it? It's not about just one year. It's not about a political party. It's about our freedom. It's about the kind of a country we leave to our children and our grandchildren. And that's what we're about. And no matter who wins in November, all of us, and I know at Americans for Prosperity, we're going to be there in Washington, D.C. And we're going to demand on the first day of that Congress an up or down vote to repeal this monstrosity that's called Obamacare. We're going to demand it. We're going to demand it of the Republicans, and we're going to demand it of the Democrats. And we're going to demand specifically up or down votes on extending the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts. We're going to demand that. No matter what happens in December, we're going to demand it in January. And we're going to demand no more bailouts, no more wasteful stimulus spending. We're taking our nation in a different direction. You know, I think President Reagan, as usual, said it best. I think it sums up kind of where we are right now. A recession is when your friend or neighbor loses his or her job. A depression, that's when you lose your job. Recovery, that's when Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi lose their jobs. Thank you all very much. November is coming.